Internet. But hello, boys. Welcome back to the. What the fuck happened here? Hang on. I entered okay, boys. Right. Welcome back to the Let It Rip podcast. The camera quality is shit because, well, mine is. Everyone else is actually okay. But that's probably better because I look like a pile of shit because I shaved. I'm joined with Rocc in the top left-hand corner, Wavey lad in the top right-hand corner, and Mershed in the bottom left-hand corner, aka Daddy J, which, let's be honest, is just a much better name. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Say hello, fellas.
Wagwan boys.
Hey.
Wagwan.
There we go. It's awkward and exciting as always.
Oh,
So it's been week 1 of VL now. Some surprise results maybe. A lot of expected results for me personally. And we're starting to see a kind of a golfing class between both the leagues, like individual leagues, a golfing class within the teams. So Mershed, you're playing for Elo Thieves. Wavey lad, you're playing for. Who the fuck are you playing for now? Wavey?
Wavey's
Oh,
playing
sorry.
for-
VGR.
VGR, that's it.
Silver Gold team.
Silver Gold team, yeah. And Rocc, you've been the the ever popular journeyman that you've always been. So where are you now?
Wait, is that me?
Yeah, Rocc, yeah.
Yeah, I'm currently I'm the coach of Project Unknown. You're quite like doing that work.
Oh,
Yeah,
for fuck's
I'm
sake.
coaching Project Unknown now. After departed the big reality.
Why'd you leave us, Tim? Why'd you do it?
Nah, I think I did my job really. So I don't know. I only did background stuff, not really important things, and I got the offer from Valkyrie. He's also a very close friend of mine, or has been at least, and yeah, he offered me to coach them. So yeah, I took the chance, and yeah, I'm doing that now. A bit more challenging, and yeah, so that was my reason to leave.
Awesome. Fucking, this is why I don't like streaming, boys, because, oh, it's fixed itself. Right. Awesome. So, encoding overload. Jesus, let's close the league. This is fucking shit.
This is going well.
It really is.
Did you have any issues like this when you were?
I think he didn't stream. If you don't want to stream, then let's just record it.
Yeah,
Nah,
stream.
We're streaming it. We're streaming it, boys. It's fine. So we'll start off with how your games went. So we'll start with Wavey. Obviously, I had Callie on the podcast from your team, your mid laner, last week, and well, 2 weeks ago, but uploaded last week. And they had some fairly confident words to say about you as a jungler, about yourselves as a team. He thought that Wavey and Lana would by far surprise people and be the best bot lane. Only potential issue would have been Thron in the top lane, but he didn't even play. So why didn't Thron play to start? Why was Couch involved?
Thrawn was at work, so he works shifts. So, like he said to us from the first, there's like 3 Mondays. The way his shift pattern works is 3 Mondays of the entire season he couldn't make. Yeah, Catcher just played that because that was one of the Mondays.
That's fair. That's fair. So, I only actually managed to watch the first game of the stream because nice. I only managed to watch the first game of the stream.
That's so gross. Yeah.
Because I had the scrim for games 2 and 3. So I think you won the series 2-1, didn't you, against Deja Vu Tankland?
Yeah, 2-1.
How do you feel the series went, and how do you feel your performance as an individual was in compared to Ice, who was arguably going to be the best jungler?
So, like going into draft, like we picked the trundle. So like without this might come across as a like bad word twice, but like we knew his pool pretty well. So the idea behind the Trundle pick is one, I get a fucking mental block playing Sedge, fuck that champ. But partly as well, if he picks this, and we have to, he can't pick the Sedge because I picked the Trundle, and then that just shits all over Sedge, it becomes pointless. And we know John Doe's pull was banned out as well, so he's just going to go some fat ass tank, aka he went Shen that time. So and he went Xin Zhao. We were expecting the Xin Zhao or the Vi, and we weren't really scared of the Vi or the Xin Zhao. Unless they had a really good early game. So my idea in the early game was just neutralize Ice, track him, and keep him as punished as possible. Because I'm fucking Trundle. It's not my ganking's great, but it's not awful either. But then came. I was just part of the thing. I knew he'd be coming top side because Couch is fucking pushing, and it's the easiest. One of the easiest places to gank, generally speaking, quite early. We knew he started bot side, and then we got that 2-kill. Couch got 2 kills off that gank. And then they repeat again, and I was literally just screaming Cali to fucking TP to get top, and then we just Ice was already then I think 1 and 2 at that point. And Shen was quite behind, and then Couchy was playing Poppy as a fat tank, and then I just press R on Shen, so he comes paper thin, and then we had Yumi, Caitlyn, I believe, so that just kind of was ridiculously strong, and then Cali has on Corky again, ridiculously strong on Yumi, so then we just played the fights that took us best. We ended a few times around Drake, but we took the fights and played sort of hopefully a decent macro game and just pushed them out for the win.
Nice. So Rocc, Mersh, did you manage to watch the first stream, the first games against VGR versus Deja Vu?
Yeah, I caught a bit of it, especially the last game. I was at work till after the second, I believe, and I caught the full last game, or even no, I caught the end of the second game as well.
So
Yeah.
What was your opinion of the games and the individual performance from Wavey in comparison to Ice, and obviously just how you feel it went? Well, do you think that Silver Gold has taken a decrease in quality since last split? Obviously, with a lot of the quote unquote sandbaggers, not quote unquote at all, now playing in the Gold Plat League.
Yeah, definitely. Like, there's no doubt about it. Most good players play in GP now, or like the better players. But for me, Silver Gold seems way more enjoyable than last split, where there were like pretty huge margins between the good teams and the bad teams. But I think everyone can beat everyone at this point. But yeah, to get back to your question about Wavy and Ice, I've seen scrims between those two, and yeah, I think that Ice is a bit overrated. I would rate Wavy at least as good as Ice, if not even better, which he showed. I mean, second game, um, there was a bit of a calm fiesta. Third game, Ice was really good early game, but Wavy also managed to get back into the game, and yeah, I don't know. It depends. I know that Ice is a good shot caller, but I don't know how comms are in DVE or in VGR. So yeah, I don't know. It depends on that really.
That's fair. Wavy, it's a bit of a weird one to ask you, but based off of that game alone, and it's the only game that really everyone can have an opinion of because they're able to go back and watch it. If you were to compare Couchy and John Joe, yourself and Ice, Callie and Fool, Weasel, and I'm really testing myself here, Franklin,
Franklin.
and Hashi and Lama, how would you say that each individual compared to their counterpart in that game? So it's a one-game analysis. No one can really complain. In the end, you guys did get the win.
Just the singular games, not like our scrims we've had.
Just off that game, just so people can see it and think, yeah, this is how they played.
I mean, just game 1 of the series.
Just the series itself. Just the series itself.
Yeah, I think like laning wise, we can go head toe to toe, if not then some, especially mid and bot. Couchy's CS could be more desired. And then me and Ice, I feel like one will do really well and the other one will do average at best, just because the way we play is very similar and we're both shot cool. So it tends to, if one gets the upper hand, we can really push it. Generally speaking, obviously that's specific wise, but generally speaking, but I just feel they had better lanes drafted for them in the as well. You got the solo kills. Weasel and Llama good together. So I give always the edge to bot lane. And then in mid lane, Kali, he had a sort of good series. He didn't have the big sort of faker 1v1 plays sort of shit, but he did what he needed to do, and that's what was important. He put out the damage that he needed to put out, and he played his part. And that's what came down to at the end of the day, I think, for us.
For me, it seemed like Cali often had the favourable matchups versus Fool. At least from memory, I might have been getting that the other way around. But just when looking at the laning matchups, it's like he should really be abusing this. And sometimes he'd get the CS lead. Again, I might have had this the wrong way around. But I never really saw him put Fool under too much pressure to the point where Fool was out of the game. Do you feel like Cali actually underperformed in comparison to what he should have done, given how much he hyped himself compared to Fool and his overall performance?
I mean, Kali had just been on a 3-day bender, putting God knows what in the system and drinking God knows what. So he was pretty like fucked. But like, yeah, I think like compared to scrims and stuff like that, where he's like, I remember we had a scrim versus them and he was down like he's like 0-4 or some shit just because scrims, you just sometimes you just fuck up. He still managed, and like the Fool was like 4-0 or something like that. And he still managed to solo kill Fool pretty easily. It, I think obviously with Silver Gold Elo, you're not going to have, you're not going to be always push that extra advantage sort of thing, because at the end of the day, that's what makes a better player, so they can push those advantages, especially in lane. So like I think he played well. Could he have played better? Then yeah, of course, everyone could have played better. But he did well, did his job, and that's what we can ask from him.
That's pretty fair. That's pretty fair. So we'll move over to Gold Plat now. Mersh, we'll go to you. Obviously, player for Elo Thieves in the top player, and actually playing for VGR last split. Relatively successful till the end. It was a little bit calamitous. Some could say that game against Team Elite was probably the kind of swinging point for you all. What was your schedule like? What were the 3 teams that you were having to play this week or last week?
Oh, for Gold Plat League,
Yeah, for Gold Plat League, yeah.
we had WSL. I'm just gonna go off of top lanes because I didn't really pay attention, like when I was preparing for the games and shit. It was Quebec's team and
Hello, are we lagging?
Mashed, Earth to mashed.
sorry, internet being shit. What was the last thing I said that you
So
guys heard?
we were just trying to get your top laners. We heard Silverback from WSL.
Yep, it was Project Unknown WSL and whichever team plays for.
Kui played for Deja Vu Clan.
Yeah, so yeah, they were the 3 games. Yeah, it was. I thought it would. No disrespect, but I thought it was going to be a harder, like 3 games to play than it actually was.
I watched most of his stream, and like, yeah, I feel like the first game he played what? You played the game you played WSL. Like
Mhm.
I felt bad for
For Silverback.
Silverback. Yeah,
I
Jimmy
mean,
literally just lived up there.
we had a game plan going into it. We're just going to try and force him onto like preferably Gangplank or Aurelia, since that's what he is in. Well, they're like 2 of his most played champs on OP.gg. And then we were just going to try and early pick the Renekton and force him to pick like a kind of squishy matchup into it, since I know he doesn't really play tanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the game plan going into it, and it worked pretty well. And then we just transitioned the top side lead to the rest of the map. It was pretty Gucci.
What was the what the fuck was the team comp I played in that game? I can't even fucking remember.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were in that game.
Yeah,
Um,
I think my
you
team did as well.
I played well, in the WSL game. It was Renekton Rumble top lane. I think Joey was on Elise probably.
Now we banned the Elise.
Yeah, Talia.
Talia, yeah, that was the one. That was the one.
Mid probably Kassadin,
We
maybe.
would have banned
Yeah,
Cassidon as we
it
would have banned
was
Cassidon.
it was Cassidon, I swear.
No, you play
I have not.
Cassidin. You play Cassidin one of the other ones. But anyway, that's all right. Did that game?
Okay.
Because you snowballed early on that game, really, didn't
Yep.
you? I think we went for a. God, my brain's like a fucking sieve. I'm gonna open up
Yeah.
League. I think we went for
I'm.
an invade or something, and it went wrong. Or just
Uh,
one play happened, and just I think as soon as you got the lead, it was just kind of game over from there, really, wasn't it?
yeah. I mean, top lane, I was just like, because he played Rumble, it was so easy to just let him push because his Q naturally does. So it was quite easy to just, and then 9 times out of 10 we at least get a flash when Joey came. Like if I'm honest, I'm really bad at looking at the rest of the map and like how they're doing in laning phase. Like 'cause obviously I'm so focused on my lane. But yeah, it seemed like we just got a pretty strong lead from top side, and then we just started invading and shit, getting vision down, and then it was just like straightforward to close it out. Like we had Baron uncontested twice, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So, as well as WSL, you played that game against Deja Vu Clan, which I
Yep.
saw because that was like its very start. So I was watching that instead of the
Hmm.
actual stream game, just 'cause I knew we were playing against you next. And it seemed like in that game too, you also got that early game lead, and it seems like Dewey's quite good at getting that early game lead for the team.
Yeah.
But then it seemed to fall off a little bit. Deja Vu Clan, they did get some clutch engages on you. You know, I think they had the
Hmm.
Jarvan. Jarvan mid lane, wasn't it? I think something Alan, Amumu in the jungle. Just these really
Yeah.
key engage tools, and you're able to shut you down a little bit. And it almost looked like Deja Vu Clan could and maybe should have won that game, given the kind of
Hmm.
state that the mid lane went. For you, how did
Yeah.
that game go, and what made you able to turn that one around to be able to win it?
From my point of view, top lane was kind of just sleeper fest. Like nothing really happened. Um, from what I can remember, it was like a pretty 50-50 game. And then there was just like one fight that went insanely well for us. Um, I think we just got a really good pick on the enemy mid, and that transitioned into Baron. And then from there, it was just like really easy to siege against their comp because all they really had was like go hard or go home. They were really easy to put. So when we got Baron, it was like they had to engage on us, like whilst with a shit ton of Baron minions. Um, so like that, yeah, it just felt like once we got Baron, it was pretty much over for them since they didn't really have a way to defend against it. That and our mid lane had just popped the fuck off. So
Well, yeah,
like I did nothing that game. I
that
picked Kennen, I went Klepto, I got 2 items. I was like a distraction.
yeah, that can certainly happen though when you've got a Charmander mid definitely put on some performances. Your last game was against Project Unknown, you said, so we'll leave that one till last. Let's jump to you, Rocc.
Yep.
Coaching Project Unknown, relatively new roster put together, kind of out of the blue. Valk says, "I'm just going to build this roster." You know, Stone comes in as top, played pretty well last split. Crafts back in the mid lane, didn't play much last split at all, but we've seen him in CL. Very solid mid laner. Only had time to improve. And then the kind of unknowns of Miwa, AD Carry, and Olu in jungle. What did you think when you joined that team? What were you expecting when you joined that team? Did you think it would be as strong as it would be?
Mm, I expected nothing at first, although I have seen scrims between them and Gold Platinum roster, and they seem to do very well from the beginning. And I watched the streamed game, and I also reviewed at least a part of it with it. And yeah, it just seems that a lot of win conditions. We have so many players. Our jungler is just a beast. I don't know if there's any other jungler that can match him. I think Dewey is definitely up there, and he also got out jungled early game. Dewey, they kind of lost track of Dewey, which is why he just popped out of nowhere. They didn't know where he was pathing or anything, and then he got that huge lead, which he couldn't transition into winning the game. And yeah, they seem very strong. They're all very flexible. Stone has a huge champion pool that isn't like your common top lane pool for that league. Kraft has a champion ocean basically. He plays everything. He's probably got the best Azir in the league. He's super good on it. He just plays so much league that even the mechanically intensive champs he easily master, even if he isn't that good in solo queue with them. by competitive play, I can see him as a really,
Oh,
really good
oh,
mid laner. What?
it lagged out as fuck for me. I don't know if that lagged out for anybody else. That was an awful sound.
No,
Yeah, no,
good on my end.
bad. Yeah,
Okay.
just basically called you trash.
Ah, that's fair
Nah,
enough.
I just said that Kraft has a good champion pool, and he is even really good on the really mechanically intensive champs like Azir. And then we have our bot lane. Our ADC is a very aggressive player, even when behind. Uh, well, we gotta get that out of him. And Valk is just very good at shot calling, and I think he improved a lot as a player and as a person. Like he's not that over aggressive guy he was. I think last split of VL he didn't play that much. He played jungle, I believe, but the first split ever in VL and CL as well, he just showed that he can't do anything more than play over aggressive. But I think he matured up a lot in terms of playing, and yeah, I think that team is something to look out for. And they didn't have any coaches or anything yet, and I hope that my reviews, my drafting can help them a bit. And I want to form my own little G2 out of them because they're so flexible,
so,
basically.
so what 3 games did you have? Obviously, you had the game against Elo Thieves. What were the other 2 that you had? Let's focus on those 2 first.
I gotta think. We played against PMA, that's for sure. And I think Claytron is what we
Playgrounds.
played against as well. Yeah, we won against PMA, pretty solid. I don't know, they played Yasuo Malphite bot lane, was a bit of an int. I don't know, I can't say much about Malphite other than that's an amazing champion. He can be picked in any circumstance, but Yasuo ADC. But yeah, we lost against Claytron. Their mid laner 404 Crave is definitely really good. He has a solid win rate in has been silver last season or gold, I think. So yeah, but he's really good, and he single-handedly carried from what I've heard. So yeah, we went 2-1, which was a really good start for an unknown team.
Nice. So was that the you're saying the mid lane of Claytrons was the silver gold player who's now plat with a really good win rate? Am I just getting that one right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that one progresses. There's certainly been some allegations. I'm more than willing to talk about that now, but we'll see how that one goes. The game against Elo Thieves, you two against each other, battle of wills, battle of strength. How did it go? What went wrong? What went right? And who is ultimately the better team despite the result? I'll let you go first, Mershed.
Okay. Um. So player wise, I agree with what Rocc was saying. For a lot of it, Stoned is like he's definitely one of the top laners who I've respected like the most since I've even found VL. Um, that's probably because he's pretty good at abusing ranged matchups. And like 90% of the time I've gone against him, it's because like he's picked a ranged matchup which I can't really do much in. Which counters my whole playstyle because I play for lane. Like I want some melee slap fest, which is like one of my better playstyles, I guess. Um, I think we had several chances to snowball. I think we were. I think we were disadvantaged because obviously Valk being a former Elo player, he knew like a lot of our strats, our picks, like what we were good at, what we'd been practicing for the last like month or two. So we had to try and kind of think of something last minute to try and like cope with that, and we kind of struggled with that. Um, I think top side went really well. I think we won every top 2v2 and 3v3. I think Project Unknown just like they snowballed pretty well from bot lane. Again, though, we had so many chances to kill the Jinx and like kill off fights before they even started, but we just didn't take them from what I've like seen. Um, I think the jungle matchup was really good actually. I think I don't know, like I didn't know anything about the Project Unknown's jungler and ADC, but I think they're probably the two standout performers in that game for me. The Jinx's positioning was a bit questionable at times. Like she was standing forward quite a lot, and it let me and Dewey get quite a few picks on her, which is why like me and Dewey are quite annoyed because we feel like we could have done more with those picks that we did get, and we just didn't.
Oh, so did you guys lose? I didn't see the end result.
Yeah, we lost.
Yeah, okay.
Uh,
Yeah, because I thought I probably watched about 10 minutes of that game, of the early game.
In short, it went to late game and they had to jinx.
Yeah. Fair
I think the weak point for Project Unknown is the mid lane. I wasn't convinced by that guy's Akali at all. Maybe he can play other champions, I'm not sure, but I don't think Akali's the one for him. Everyone else, I think, on Project Unknown, like, were really good. Better than anything else, I think. Well, better than anything I played on that day. Like, that was the toughest game for sure.
Well, there you go. Valkyrie has been complimented by the team that kicked him. So would you say that's a fair assessment, Rocc? That what Mershed just said there, that realistically it was just bot lane got the lead, played late game, and won off that.
Yeah, basically that. Our early game was a bit atrocious as Dewey just got all the kills, but I think the kill share wasn't good for Elofis. I think he had like 7 kills out of 9 at some point, and we thought that if I don't know, Mershed and what's his name, Charmander, I believe,
Yeah.
has the mid laner. Yeah, if they got I don't know half the kills Dewey would have gotten, then the game would have turned out very differently. But at the end of the day, we scaled up into late game and did our best. I also agree with Mersh that Kraft's performance wasn't really good on the Akali. What you gotta note though is that he just came back from a 4-week holiday, so he has been like very rusty, and he's trying to smash a lot of games now and just get back into the groove again. But yeah, he wasn't the best, but he wasn't also like a letdown or anything. He got some crucial kills. He just played very aggressive. I also like to compare him to Caps. Like either he's Craps or Claps. He knows that.
Like he was
So
always like relevant. Like he was always roaming,
yeah,
like getting involved in fights, and it made it annoying to deal with because it was like that extra, um, like an extra thing that you need to pay attention to in fights. Whereas other mid laners, I'm sure, would just go to a side lane, push out
Oh
away.
shit! 1 sec, I've just got to go take something out of the oven. I'll be back in a sec.
It's absolutely fair. Fucking comes back with a burnt as fuck pizza.
Um,
Black
at the
frisbee.
same time, though, I can see why you guys probably won through bot lane because I think Valk has a like a decent champion pool, and he would have known that Sean doesn't. Um, and our bot lane haven't had like much of a chance at the moment to like get some grinding in, like learn how to play with each other properly and shit like that. Um, so it's like I guess Valk just had more options than Sean did. So
yeah.
it's that, and they misplayed like a few times as well. But
Yeah, not only that, but also the early invade where Jinx got a kill was also very.
yeah,
Oh yeah, that was a turning point in the game very early on because if Jinx as a hyper carry gets first blood, that's always a really big thing. It's a key factor for bot lane because Jinx, if she can snowball, she is one of the best hyper carries in the game, and that's what she did. Even though Miwa's positioning wasn't the best, we're currently working on that. I've got a coaching session with him tonight, so maybe we can. Yeah, we're gonna improve as time goes. They haven't played with a full roster for like 4 weeks because Kraft was on holiday. Kiz always filled mid lane, and yeah, so we had kind of similar players. I think Kiz is also very aggressive
yeah,
and has similar champion pool, not really the same, but also like assassin
yeah,
like you
similar
can play. So
style of champions.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, I think we're gonna improve and see how far we go. We got a good rank in the power rankings. I think Kraft was labeled S tier mid laner, which after the games on Thursday I wouldn't say so, just because he's just very rusty still. Like he was on a 4-week holiday. I don't think that S tier is justified at this
Well,
point.
I think that's just because Looney was the one doing the power rankings and you beat PMA, to be fair.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe that was just the reason.
Yeah,
So,
probably.
big question for you three is week one now, and everyone knows that everything's decided by week one. Everyone's gonna finish exactly where you think they'll finish after week one. Every player's as good as he performed in week one. based off week 1, where do you think you guys are going to finish? Do you genuinely see all 3 teams as title challengers? Is it like glued on that you guys are going to get first place? I mean, all 3 of you should be looking at that week and thinking, yeah, realistically, we should be winning. You can all see the weaknesses in the team and think they're easy to resolve and think by the end you're going to be unbeatable. Or is there actual reality in your brains at the moment and realising that WSL are still going to win the split because that's what I said?
Okay, Wavey, do you want to start with Silver Gold?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I think we can actually win it. The only enigma would be for us, like we talk about it a bit, would be WSL Academy, just because we haven't seen them play. But like we know, like some of the players, the rest of the league we have pretty sussed out, and we've scrimmed pretty like. Well, I haven't skimmed all the teams, but we skimmed Picklesman and DV extensively. So like going from the scrim results as well as how we play in stage, and like Sean, our current coach, is pretty on the ball with what sort of we need to do better. So if we continue sort of not inting basically, then yeah, I could definitely see us taking first place.
So you think that you guys are better than Sons of Capri-Sun?
Yeah.
Even though they've got potentially 2 Smurfs.
Who said they're Smurfs?
I mean, nobody said it. I'm saying potentially, allegedly, there potentially could be maybe 2 Smurfs on that
Yeah, but
team.
who's saying that? Which ones are they? The ADC in the top?
You said it on me.
Well, I mean, like, obviously there was that whole drama of them screen sharing for a bit, so that could be pretty fucking yikes. But there's, I mean, if Couchy can slap Pickles Man with Fiora when the Renekton favoured in that matchup, like with no jungle interference, and I'm pretty sure he 2v1'd at some point in it as well, then I don't really have any concerns about it. Their ADC, he had popped off every now and then, but we still managed to deal with it pretty well. No.
That's fair, and that's fair. I mean, I can only go what other people tell me about Pickles, man. At the moment, I had the perception that this guy was a 1v9 machine, but I mean, if Couchy's able to 1v2, then there you go, man.
Yeah, I mean, like when Kai said that, like he forgets that scrim that we like that game that he 1v9'd. Power Fruit was playing Rumble into Renekton. Obviously, it's Renekton favored. I'm pretty sure, and pretty sure Power Fruit was pretty pissed. Like not angry, he was drunk. So Callie was playing Yasuo for the first time like ever, so we were just pretty fucking around at this point. So yeah, he just won off because we didn't have an answer to the next split push. And then at ADC, I've not seen him do anything spectacular or that would worry me. But maybe who knows? Maybe he was hardcore sandbagging scrims. Who knows?
That's fair. I mean, looking at what your team can offer and looking about what I know about the other teams, so I can Sons of Capri-Sun and the other one. No one knows. I don't know any Windtower or whatever it is. Don't know them 2
Windtower.
teams.
Yeah.
Don't think Henta Haven have really got a chance for years based off just fives prep and individual player for player. And then when you compare that to you guys versus DV, I think you're going to be better, even if only just. And then against WSLA, even I don't know the team, but based off the lack of preparation of that team, based off the fact they had to get 2 emergency subs for the game against Hentai Haven, still won, but they'll come
they'll
back
have
together.
they'll have prepped for this game for tomorrow rather.
Well, yeah, they'll have the prep, but I can only go off. I think comparing you to Bauer is going to be the biggest difference in that game. I think jungle matchups are always the biggest in Silver Gold for me personally.
I mean, I don't mean it disrespectfully to Bauer. I just haven't seen him play anything besides Twitch or Sedge, and Sedge has got sort of not massively nerfed, but it's not a tiny nerf either. And like I can play Trundle, and I played it into his Sedge before when they had Sedge Yumi, which is a pretty good engage. So you know, we played against like it wasn't the full roster of WSA L, what the fuck they're called, but we played like most of their key team. So they didn't. It was a while ago. Obviously, things can change and they could have got a little better or whatever. But I'm not too worried about Bauer in the jungle.
That's fair. I think.
But then
he's
again,
definitely...
I've not seen enough, so
Yeah.
I couldn't say for certain. That's the early issue. I've played against him like one scrim set and maybe an in-house here and there. That's it.
He's definitely got the carry potential as a player. The only thing that I think you've definitely got over him is the jungle awareness. I think, based off the games I've seen and what Callie said, I think you're going to be the one that's going to dictate the first 15 minutes, whereas I think Bauer's just going to play the first 15 minutes. I think that's really going to be the difference between the two. But I know if that guy gets 4 kills in the early game, then shit's going to pop off. And that's just the difference between solo queue and fives, really. A solo queue team can beat a fives team if you've got a 2k gold lead in the first 10 minutes, so that's just something to expect. Mersh, moving over to you then, and then we'll try and just get a group convo. But you guys, you know what went wrong against Project Unknown. Other than that, you went 2-1. Easy game against WSL. A bit of a shaky game versus DVT, but you come back into it, able to win the game off the late game team fight. So you can win early game, you can win late game. Do you see that way? What's that one thing that you guys need to do that's going to make you this unstoppable force that Peg once was?
I think all we need is for bot lanes to play more together. I think if they do that, figure out what works for them, in time, I think we'll just naturally be good. I think we probably have one of, if not the best top side in the league. I haven't seen everyone, so it's like can't say that for sure. But based off of like scrims and the 3 games we did play, I don't think there was a game that we didn't just hard win topside in the first like 10-15 minutes. So yeah, all we need is for
bot lane, don't in, and we will carry you. No, don't take the fight. No. Fuck's sake, you've just given another double kill. As long as they don't do that, you're gonna win.
The thing is, we've had scrims where bot lane have just like hard carried us, and topside have been like a bit lackluster. Well, not even lackluster, just not much has happened. And then we've had games where Sean's got like 20 kills in 20 minutes. So it's like we know it's there, we know it's possible. It's just working out how to unlock it, I guess. There's not really too much more to say.
That's fair. But you think you guys are going to end up split winners?
I think we'll be top 3 at least. I'll
Top 3
be
at least.
hugely disappointed if we're not. I think if we can find our groove by like next week or the week after, then I don't see a reason why we couldn't be favourites for the league.
And it's just getting playoffs in it, and then winning playoffs. That's all it's going to come down to in the end. Right,
Yeah.
Project Unknown. Oh,
Am
sorry.
I muted real quick?
No, you're fine. Yeah,
Nope.
you're fine.
Okay, fucking hell. My thing's down. I'm muted. Okay, cool. Cheers.
It's because you're muted on your phone, aren't you? You're not bad.
Yeah, but it's saying my PC's muted.
Fuck
That's
knows
why
then.
I'm. Yeah, exactly. I felt a bit like. Yeah, sorry. Go on.
Go on, Rocc. Project
Yeah.
Unknown.
Yeah.
Winning the
Project
split.
Unknown. I think they've got. I think we got the chance to win the split. Mainly due to our flexibility. Everyone's just very versatile when it comes to champion pool, and when I do think that that we're going to get into playoffs, and when it's going to go into best of 3s or best of 5s, I think the versatility and the flexibility is going to win us the game. So there's a good chance we're gonna come out on top in the end. But also that requires also more than just champion pools. Yeah, and all that. Obviously, they still got to improve as a team.
That's fair. Wavey writing in chat what rhymes with goon, and Mersh maybe taking that one a little bit too personally.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that.
When I watched that, I was just like fucking lost. It was so funny. And then, like the next day, ban list Dewey.
Wasn't just Dewey, was it? Didn't Charmander get the sword as well?
Charmander didn't. It was Sean.
Sean.
That was for the end of the Project Unknown game.
So what the fuck happened there? Like
I don't know.
What went down for that time? Because I mean, Elo Thieves have always got that little bit of a smirk about them. when we play against him in scrims or in games. You know, Dewey likes an occasional mastery flag. You know, that's
Oh yeah,
okay.
we all do.
That's okay, but
It's like
how did it
in
get to that level?
so in scrims and even at the start of the Project Unknown game, and even like moments during it as well, we just like having fun and shit when we're playing. Like we don't like taking it too serious. I think when the fights kept going like 50-50 for 20 minutes straight, that's when it started to get a bit frustrating. So I think everyone was probably a little bit tilted by the end of that game. I think the product on I think it was like the jungler, was it, or the ADC that spammed like put easy in the chat. It's like after a game like that, I guess it's like a kick in the teeth, and I guess Sean just didn't take it too well.
That is
Um,
fair. I mean,
there wasn't
definitely
anything in
provoked.
like there wasn't really anything in comms that was like. It's not like we were like hard flaming them and like saying, "Oh, go fuck yourself," like blah blah blah. It was like we were just accepting the defeat. Like I think we realized our mistakes and shit in game. So I don't know. I think it's just a kick in the teeth, and then Sean not responding it too well.
Yeah. So the admins ended up banning them for a game. But in both cases, you can argue that it's a little bit invalid. So just to explain it for people that don't know, obviously, as you say, Sean got provoked with the easy. Whether that's allowed or not, who knows? There's obviously rules against saying KYS. And then in the game against DVT, I think was the game that got Dewey, wasn't it? Where I think it was just banter between Dewey and Mike, really, wasn't it? And then it was
Yeah.
Mike asks what rhymes with goon, and then we all know what Dewey replied with. But
Moon, obviously.
Moon, yeah, Lagoon, and all that lot.
It, interesting looking M you got there, mate.
But how does he get banned for that? And does anyone? What's your guys' opinions? Is this admin bias? Is this just complete childish from DT, or is just Dewey? Does it genuinely deserve to be banned for saying that word? What's your guys' genuine opinion on this matter? Like, for me, I think it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Uh, I think it's rules actually. If there's like VL games and post game, you make you just say something racist and you're gonna get smacked. That's just whether it was prompted or not. On the other side, I rewatched the game against Elo Thieves. I can see why our ADC would be putting easy in chat. Like the mastery spam was really ridiculous in bot. It was actually, I mean, that's kind of, I don't know, each their own, I guess. I wouldn't like getting disrespected that hard and like with like mastery spams after every missed ability or even emotes. I don't know if that's in the rules.
Fuck off, Tim. You did it to us in scrims all the time, you rat.
That's
You would
I'm not a
literally
player
like
there.
you would kill us like Yasser, and then just you and Dewey would like spam level 7, spam level 7.
Yeah, but we never did it in VL games. Yeah,
Uh,
always turn out emotes. I don't know. It's kind of whatever, I guess. I don't think we would have been mad if Sean didn't get banned, but the KYS was definitely a bannable offense. Maybe the easiest. I don't know
I
how
think
hard rules are.
I think the easy should be punished, but I don't. It's obviously not as bad as saying KYS. Like,
maybe he should do some like content for the community.
Fuck off,
Like
Wavey.
or just I don't know, Discord ban. Maybe Discord ban for
A
BM.
few
I don't know.
days,
Maybe
yeah.
yeah. That would have fit as well. But
Yeah, I think Tim's right. Is that it wasn't inherently racist. Obviously, it's not the best word you'd be going around shouting
yeah,
out.
yeah,
But like, it's against the rules. Like as simple as that. Like everyone. Well, I'd like to think Dewey's not racist.
I can confirm he's not.
Well, there you go. No Brexit vote for him. But yeah, it's if it's the rules, you don't say it. Just cover yourself by not saying it.
Yeah.
Same reason why they don't put it in LCS games.
I mean, it's the reason we're not saying it now, just to answer Tim Press's question. We don't want to get banned because it fits a rule,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've
I
got
think
to
there's
know
a
where the
few
line
reasons.
is.
I think there's a few reasons why they were saying it and why we aren't. First of all, apparently it was an inside joke between the two of them. And they
I
used
can
to say it
confirm
like,
It was on Paxton.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could definitely tell.
So it's like an inside joke, and we don't have an inside joke where that word is used. So that's like point one. And point two is if we
What
just
word do
simply
you
say
use
the
then,
word and get
Mashed?
Don't even try.
Friend.
What word rhymes with trigger?
Oh my god.
Trigger.
True.
Ooh.
I think yeah, and the other reason is if we're simply saying that word and it's getting us banned, then we're not gonna say it. We can disagree with like whether or not we should be banned simply for saying a word.
But I
Right?
think, yeah, but I mean that gets onto a more like
Just the rules, though. Even if
philosophical
you make
debate,
an
innit?
exception,
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
if it was said in like a malicious way, then sure. Like if you're like flaming someone and you're calling someone like, oh, you're a fucking blah blah blah, then
Yeah,
yeah, that's bannable. But if you're like literally having a joke with a friend, and that word hasn't offended anyone, like that was in the lobby anyway, because that game wasn't streamed on VL, so not many people would have seen it anyway.
You never know who's getting offended by a word.
True.
That's the thing.
there's
There.
a I was watching a podcast yesterday. Not a podcast, though. It's a video. It's like hot ones. It's called, and basically this fella gets a bunch of celebrities like eat really hot wings and ask questions and shit. It's genuinely good content. I recommend people go watch it. It's on YouTube. I just type in hot ones. But they had Bill Burr on it, right? And they also had Ricky Gervais, and they were both talking about a very similar thing. They're both talking about this snowflake society. And about
Yep.
saying this, I'm a huge hypocrite because I had a big fucking realization yesterday. So holy shit, I've turned into a snowflake. Apparently, I can't take banter anymore. It's like, fuck me, I'm from Manchester. How can I not take banter? I'm fucking upset with myself. But I think VL is slowly becoming that. I think we are having this snowflake society where no one's allowed to disagree anymore. It's very much, your opinion matters more than fact. And again, this is hypocritical with me saying it because I'm probably the biggest person who does this shit. But
Yeah.
is VL too snowflake? Because realistically, if you're with your
I
mates and
mean,
someone says that word, no one's batting an eyelid, are we?
that's one of the reasons I've like never really been active in VL. I tried being active for like the first couple months. I saw how like first of all like just how people reacted to toxicity and shit, and how people held grudges and shit over like petty things. That's why nowadays I might comment here and there, but like outside of that, I just comment on I just talk in my team's chat and shit, because you can actually have a laugh there without people like holding it against you 3 weeks down the line and like getting banned and shit for it.
Yeah, I mean that is true. Do you guys reckon it's the same? Are people getting too offended? Like we've not got a trash talk channel anymore. We've had to put it in a different server because people are too butthurt.
I mean, I think it's very context specific in the sense that you can't just have a generalization and say, oh, yeah, is it becoming too snowflake or it's becoming too snowflake? Because if you look at it, one particular example, you're going to have to break down that, and then that one rule does not apply to all. For all examples, it's quite hard to fit that within the constructs of it's snowflake society or whatever. I mean, people come on here I come on here just to fucking meme and like piss about and shit like that, and then play league with some mates because I enjoy fives. That's what it is to me. I will get a bit heated like sometimes because obviously you take pride in what you do, and obviously you're gonna want to be the best that sort of player you can. So people meme you and shit, you're gonna get a bit frustrated, especially if you had a bad game or they're just like not seeing it from your point of view or whatever, But so you're gonna you might lash back, you might just say, oh whatever, fuck it, yeah. But I wouldn't necessarily. I've not seen anything that's too snowflake-esque, but I could be wrong on that. I'm not always active in the server. I just pop in every now and then when I'm at work or whatever, or end of the day. So there could have been things in there, but I'm not saying anything that's made me think, oh, fucking hell, chill out. But then again, I've also gone on the offensive, and within that whole pickle man's thing and screen sharing, I got a warning from the admin guys because I was like, I called him a fucking idiot, which is fair enough, because it came across malicious. It was meant sort of to be like, look, you're a fucking idiot, you fucking idiot. So, that's fair enough to say, look, just dial it down, because at the end of the day, people don't want to have to come on here somewhere where they enjoy, possibly enjoying to that, to have a good time and play some league. You don't want to come in there and just have, some random man calling you a fucking idiot. Which is, I can appreciate that. So it swings and roundabouts, I think.
I mean that is fair. There's definitely two ways to look at it. I think me personally, I've been getting too offended. It's that topic really of, do you take offence or is offence given? Like, if someone's offended, is it the person who's at fault? Is it the person who's made the person offended, or is it the person who's actually offended? And quite often that's just, I just say, context based. Well, are you being offensively racist? Like, are you discriminating against someone because of the color of the skin? And most people would say, well, that's the person's fault who's given someone offence. But Kelly, that's Mershed, by the way. But if then someone's saying is offended because someone's put the topic "boys will be boys" and your name's Karen, and you're getting upset about the fact that that even exists, then is that the person's fault who is genuinely offended? Who knows? Like that's really, I think, hard to judge. But we'll see how shit goes on. So unless anyone's got anything specific to say, we'll open it up to questions. Oh, go on.
Yeah, I would want to say something on a toxicity topic and shit. I think everyone who has been around in Rivals knows how that league turned out. Had a full-on trash talk challenge. I don't know what admins did at that time, but they didn't do much to regulate the whole Discord server. And it wasn't really fun to be on the Discord server. I know people might say that you can't even do banter anymore on VL without getting a warning or shit. Is it not fun because of that to be in the community? I don't think so. I think the admins and Hype do have a view on how to run the community, how they want it. They want it to be just peaceful, civilized, and that's how they're running the league at the end of the day. And I think the VL server, since Trash Talk is gone, is very clean. There is a Trash Talk server who wants to take part in it, because there are some people that just don't want to get Trash Talk and get too offended. So just either get tagged in Trash Talk, they look at it, they respond to it, they get too heated in the argument, and get banned at some point. That's just how some people are. And with the Trash Talk server we are that is not connected to VL, or not officially connected to VL, people can take part in Trash Talk and throw some, or just leave it and not join it. I think that's honestly the optimal solution we got right now.
Absolutely fair. I mean, for me myself, I'm not in the trash talk server because I couldn't be
You
asked.
can't.
I just can't handle that shit.
You can't. Yeah, you can't handle that.
What ruined it for me is I think it was the game against. It might have even been the game against Vigorous where we got knocked out of playoffs, and I think loads of people were just giving a shit for it, and not even shit, but just like memeing it. It's just like, oof, losing feels bad. So at that point, I just thought I'd fucking leave it. But yeah, I do
See,
want to
like
kind of.
that's
Oh, go on.
actually one of the examples I was talking about there, because it's like you were making statements and shit like, oh yeah, I think we can beat VGR, blah blah blah. This is why.
Yeah.
So then I think I posted on VL after we beat you, and I was like, oh, it must have been these reasons then. And
Yeah.
it's just a bit of banter, right?
Yeah, that's
Like
just banter. Yeah.
That's not me like having an attack at you, like
Yeah.
trying to make you feel shit about yourself. And then people started like commenting like below and shit, like, oh, Mershed is serious. Oh, Mershed is salty. Like, oh, he has a grudge. And I was like, I'm not even gonna respond to that because it's ridiculous.
I suppose that's the two ways of looking at it. Is you were like, oh, he fucking sent that. Okay, then let's fucking beat him. And then, hey, eat your own words. All right,
Yeah,
look at that. And I suppose that's just kind of how you know each other. That's Wavey G.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think that's ultimately a big thing that I've got with that. So like, I've gotten relatively close with Doper at the moment in terms of like, I know when he's fucking bantering.
Wait, Doper from
Ike.
the Korean player.
Fuck off, wait.
No, for fuck's sake. Yeah,
I
he'd
like
like
how
to.
Tim called straight away to what I was getting at as well. If he's fucking like known me too long.
Yeah, so like, I get when he's bantering other people, I don't. But it is a bit of a weird one. I do want to keep it relatively short, as I say. So there's a relatively fair amount of people in chat. So has anyone got any questions for these people while they're on? Any provoking questions that they want them to chat about, or fucking anything before we close it? Because I only wanted to keep this around an hour anyway. So we will leave it to chat. Ask questions, ask away. Make them as toxic as possible for me, please. Just not about me. I went 0-3 this week. We don't need to talk about it.
Oh, did you go 0-3? Holy shit.
Yeah. We it's looking at the moment that we're potentially getting subs in. Not subs, but like tryouts in, and every single role is up for potential dropping.
For WSL.
For WSL, yeah. I mean,
Dang.
Because I asked, oh, sorry, go on.
Ever since I joined, there's always been communication issues, and I genuinely thought that these would be issues that I'd be able to resolve, and obviously I've been unable to do that.
It's hard. I think it's hard for mid to be a main shot calling role anyway.
Well, yeah, and obviously now I've moved to AD carry because Minky's got a job and stuff. So
that's even worse.
So Callie's asked you a question, Rocc, mate. Why did Rocc ditch us, the ginger cunt?
Well, as I
You
explained
answered
in
it,
the
mate. He's
beginning,
ginger.
Yeah, exactly. No, but just VGR. I did my thing, did the roster. So I moved into the background, wasn't active enough, and yeah.
Yeah,
now
I did.
got
Yeah,
moved to
I
coach.
wanted you to be more active because you weren't like you never like dropped in for like scrims or like that. You did the occasional enhances about it, but like you didn't see
Yeah,
it around much.
yeah,
Quite
that was
sad.
the thing, because we had so many coaches. I kind of felt like if popping into the voice chat, it's just
Too many
overloaded
people. Yeah, that's fair
Yeah,
play.
That's kind of one of the reasons I made my decision to leave as well. There was like so much shit that was in the works and being planned for this split, and I was like, this isn't even the same. Like, what's the word?
yeah, yeah.
Like,
VGR
it's
kind
not
of
the same
changed.
org as what it was when I was there,
Yeah,
and I was like, I didn't like the changes, so I pieced.
that's fair enough. But I think the changes overall have been good. As much as Sean gets memed on in VGR, I think, or not in VGR, more in, he does a lot of work for VL. I'm actually just hinting right now. No,
He gets
as much as
memed
he
in
gets
VL and
memed
he
in
does well
VL,
in
he
VGR.
does a lot of work in VGR. GP had a bit of a letdown with Sirius not being able to attend anything for like I don't know 2 months. But he's back now. He's now able to coach again. Yeah, we have a solid staff, or we had a solid staff. I left because I wasn't really needed anymore. Spring did a major stuff as well, so yeah, I don't think that the org's gonna miss me in a sense when it comes to organization or anything. Yeah, that's just why I left. Really,
Yeah,
but
I
I
think
still love the boys.
VGR's still in good hands anyway. So
Definitely, yeah. And
Yeah, I'd agree.
VGR, I made some good friends on there. Like they're all top class
yeah,
people.
yeah, they're all
all
really solid guys. That's
exactly.
why I was like so happy I found them last split.
So, Wavey, I like this question from Impress for you.
Wait, oh yeah.
Why did some people not accept the offers a coach Powerfruit made? Apparently, people just didn't turn up for coaching sessions and shit. So maybe Rocc can give some insight on this one as well. But what happened with that? Why is obviously Powerfruit wasn't happy with how things were ran. It wasn't taken seriously enough,
Yeah.
I think was his words.
Like from what I did, that I can probably say that Patrick didn't like is that didn't want to fucking play Sedge. I mean, I did to a degree, like play her, but I just gives me such a mental block. I need to get over it. It's pretty like one thing I did, but I felt like I didn't do all that much. I mean, there was a coaching session that we went for, like he had gone through loads of stuff like warding, what to do in certain positions, what to do when we're this, that, and the other. Like really detailed shit. And only me and Couch could make it because of real life issues or whatever. And then sort of we weren't really committing to his type of maybe I don't know if it had a sort of word, maybe his style, because it was for him. It was more what it feels like. Obviously, he could say it differently. That he wanted to do more sort of like, this is how we're going to play. This is what we're going to do. And we were like, all right, let's. Like when we first got together, we were memeing quite a bit, just like troll picking and scrims a little bit. And I think the fact that so we agreed to do the proper full-on coaching session where he would tell me and Catchy again and the rest of the guys of like all this stuff he had prepped of what sort of we could incorporate into our game to make it better. We were going to meet on the Saturday morning about 11ish, 12ish, whatever. Annoyingly, my alarm didn't go off, and we all sort of confirmed with each other that we'll be there at 11. And then I don't think I want to say that Fruit didn't see us confirming that, or was whatever, because it was quite late at night that we all confirmed. But we all sort of said to each other, maybe it'd been in voice as well, where we'd say, "Oh, we'll be there at 11 to go through all this," and then sort of I don't think anyone was around apart from sort of Weasel or active on the server at the time to sort of show that we were around to do it. And my alarm didn't go off. I woke up fucking 2 o'clock in the afternoon anyway. And then I think that was just the final straw for him. And like he's putting like all this effort into it, and he feels like he's not getting enough back when he could just be working, doing his like own in real life stuff. He had exams going on at the time, which he passed, which good on him. And then obviously summer's where you want to spend it with your mates. So that's what is my point of view anyway. He might say it differently, but I got on well with Fruit. I don't think I wasn't sort of an issue or the main issue at least. But yeah.
I mean,
My
that's
two
fair enough.
cents.
That's fair enough. A lot can happen when people oversleep. Rocc's put his headset off when I was specifically going to shout him out or try and flame him, but never mind. I was just putting a mask on. There we go.
For fuck's sake.
Here he
This
goes.
is
Tim, where's
something,
your
yeah.
mask?
Mr. Masquerade as he goes. I was just talking, Rocc, about how Callie overslept and it made Rocc, it made Fruit leave VGR, and it's not the first time someone's overslept, and like the best roster that could ever be made hasn't stayed together.
Yeah.
It's a shout out for some people. So I will finally
Yeah.
go back to Proxy's question. One for you, Mershed. Who is
Yep.
who is the worst top laner you've played in VLMY?
Oh, stoned without a shadow of a doubt. No, I'm kidding. If we're talking like the whole of EL, then it's like from when I started playing last year, last split, it's got to be Golden Boy. He was just like one big meme in the top lane for us. Like, I don't want to flame the guy too much, but yeah.
Who is he?
He was the top laner for Golden Era. They
Oh,
folded
I
like
don't. Yeah, I don't think we ever played. They must have been in. No, you
yeah,
Group B, weren't you? So yeah.
they folded like 3/4 of the way through the league, and like I'm pretty sure I could play any champion in the game, whether I played them before or not, and stomp him. Like he was just bad.
So
Like he's the kind of guy who, when he starts charging up his Scion Q, he waits till the animation finishes before he releases it, regardless what's happening around him.
Big.
Yeah, it's like I think I tower dived him on my own, like level
Tower
4,
dive.
level 5, level 6.
My phone.
It was
Hello. My camera there.
yeah, your camera's freezing all the time, mate, but it's been alright.
Oh, okay.
Your voice is fine. People still
It's
get
the
to see your
curse.
beautiful face. It's alright.
It's the curse. It's you're cursed because you keep talking about Sejuani, according to the chat anyway.
Then I'll see
Yeah.
a bunch of Sheffield United players just fucking pile driving each other at the background then. I think they might have scored, boys. So what if it was just top laners who were still in the league?
If I'm honest, I don't know fucking anyone in VL that isn't in the team I play for, or like someone who I'm kind of friends with.
That's fair enough. Well, we'll just call it Stones then. How about that?
What
Nah.
the fuck? Am I sideways. Oh fuck it.
You're right there, Wavey.
Yeah, my like I was just chatting and my phone literally just went fucking just went to home screen. I was like, what? And I've opened up and now it's not adjusted for some fucking reason. So I'm like, this. I don't give a shit. This thing's ending in a second, shortly anyway. I don't give a fuck.
I'm trying, boys. I really am. How do I do this? There we go. Oh, I'm so fucking good, boys.
How's this? Is this better?
Tim, where's the mask?
It's gone. I'm rocking again. I was rewind before.
You just need like a little fucking like bag behind you.
There you
So
go.
you're walking in past like that. I have to go back on
I've got
watch
more
the fucking
cool.
stream.
I
See how
this.
laggy I am.
Right.
This is great.
Well, boys, questions have ended. We got some nice ones in there. I was luckily able to not talk about WSL too much, which was preferable.
I think Prox, I think Stone asked what team was the worst I ever coached, and I didn't coach much teams.
Yeah, I thought it was a shit
Revival?
question, so I ignored it.
I coached 7DS back in the day, and they were pretty shit, but mainly because of Harshy. Nah, dude. At that point, Harshy was an ADC, and he went like 6-1 in lane as Kate. At the end of the game, he had like, I don't know, 6k damage.
I just loved
and
his Varus, man. His Varus was so good.
yeah, that's what I want to say.
I played with a Varus once that would walk back to base, and then I had to tell him that he could press B to go back. I'm pretty sure that's the same Harshy.
Yeah, basically. Hey, Harshy, you can, by the way, right click even after landing phase. Oh,
What
look,
the fuck?
man.
Oh,
I feel like Tim's just picking shit out of his room and just like holding up the camera, like, "What's up?"
What? No. I was just sorting stuff out. No.
Mid
Hashi
podcast.
also had an e-girl as his support, and they played like a normal.
Rani.
And then Hashi didn't buy items at the start of the game, so she just rage quit the game and then rage quit it. And we were, and I was like, Hashi, you actually made our support quit. We gotta talk. Either you move to support or the team is no more, because everyone was in my DMs and was like, Hashi can't play ADC anymore. I won't keep playing if he keeps playing. So, yeah.
Amazing.
what a guy. Yeah, I am gonna fucking end it because fuck you guys. I
Well, the
wanna
podcast or
Don't do it
podcast.
just because you went 0-3. No reason.
Don't start manifesto time, boys. I'm out. No, I'm actually genuinely going to stick with WSL through all the thick and thin, unless I get kicked, which let's face it's probably going to happen. Looking for team, boys.
Maybe
looking
try
for team.
maybe try smurfing again in the silver gold. Might
Yeah,
be more your
we'll
level.
go silver gold. So all that's going to happen now is
guys.
Couchy, Cree, fucking Wavey will join in again. I'll just get fucking perma blasted in general chat. So never complain about that shit once, you know, and then fucking I requested to have it looked at to see if I could be unbanned. They said, yeah, okay, here's some questions. Answered the questions. They said, yeah, okay, come back, but you've got to do content. And then I get shit for it. It's like, fucking hell, boys, what do you want me to do? But anyway.
Not Smurf.
Well, yeah, but that's already happened now. Been there, done that, you know.
That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Well, yeah, that's for the future. But yeah, that's the reason, Callie. I don't want to edit it. The start's blank, but fuck it. Yeah, that's it. It's been the Letter A podcast. It's been Rocc, it's been Wavey, it's been Mershed, and it's been Drigger, the best AD carry in the league. It's been the Letter A podcast.
Third best player in the league, by the way.
See, right, let's talk about that one. I didn't actually say that, seriously. How come everyone suddenly knows this, right? I was in a fucking voice call with Joycey and Valk and somebody else, and I think Stone was there as well. And fucking Valk was like talking about, I think he said I was like shit or something. It's like, oh, whatever. So I was just like, no, I'm genuinely the third best player in the league, just trying to get under his skin because like he was like arguing and I was just kind of taking a piss really. And then his internet dropped out and I specifically said to Joycey, I was just joking. And then what Joycey proceeded, what Joycey proceeded to do was just tell everybody. It's like, for fuck's sake, no, this is a meme. Thing is, with the best AD carry in the league, I was almost being serious. Delusion, completely deluded, but I genuinely believed that if given the
Isn't
same
there
amount
only
of
like
resources,
8 teams?
no, it's 10, I think, in Go Plat.
Okay.
Yeah. So I almost genuinely believe it. I think if given the same resources, I could have done it. In a moment, I think not, but I'm still up there in the top half. I'd personally say. Whether people believe that or not, I don't know. But fucking, then he starts spreading that shit. People think that one's true, and it's like, oh, here we go again, getting memed again.
Top half player, bot map.
Can we get a Drigger third best player in the league in chat, please?
No, let's just not. Wavey. Let's get. You're winning. I can't do anything for you. Fuck you. Anyway, it's been the Letter In podcast. I'm ending it now. Fuck these four. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, then let me know. If you want a different format,
I've really enjoyed it actually. Yeah.
I meant for the people watching.
Fuck
you
off.
want, if you want a different
All right.
thought,
Go-
Well,
we
we
got an
can't
opinion as well.
enjoy our own podcast.
I know.
Fucking hell.
no, you self-conceited
Christ.
fuck. You can't.
Fucking fight me a land. I saw someone actually put that in chat the other day and they
Yeah.
got warned.
Ah, fucking hell! I want to end it, but at the same time, if people have got a different, I've done one with 1, I've done one with 4. Let me know how you want me to
3.
do it. Well, no.
The one with like
Ah,
20.
Yeah.
Do one with like an entire team. 2 teams.
At once.
That could be good.
Oh my god. Elo fees against Project on that.
The memes.
Kill yourself, easy. Kill yourself.
Just get Dewey and Sean, and then get Valk and Steve, and then
And
just
get-
let them go at it.
Get Mike in as well, just for the goon work.
Mike's in the background just like spurring out shit.
It's been a Lettery podcast. Over and out. Peace.
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 See ya.